focus of the law of addition. And so the focus here, I think, is simply advancing others, not ourselves. And so as I dived into that, there's a little thing that I think we can see. So I like, and I'm gonna start kind of toward the end of the chapter, since everybody kind of starts at the beginning. I just want to kind of come at it from a different angle. And so coming from the end of the chapter, Benjamin Franklin said, the handshake of the host affects the taste of the roast. Serving and coming in this light actually purifies motives and helps to gain a clear perspective on the reason you're connecting to others. So if you really are looking at that that servant leadership that we've been talking about, we're looking at, hey, how are we really putting ourselves out there? How are we going the extra mile to make sure they do it?
And when they talked about Senegal being the co-founder of Costco's, and how he didn't just think about the bottom line. He didn't just think about the money that he can make, but he thought about the people that he was going to be influencing, that he was going to be impacting. And his main concern was influencing or impacting the peoples and adding value to the lives of the people or to the employees that he employed in his business, so that it would eventually get him to the goal. And they would become, Costco's is known as the top, he was in the, one of the top companies, right? And it was interesting to me that Senegal, he only takes his salary of only $350,000 a year. And that was crazy to other corporations, to other businesses or business owners or leaders, because they are all about the money, right?
90% of people who add value to others do it intentionally, because by nature we are selfish. And so John Senegal was intentional about what he did, his actions, creating this culture, making his staff feel like they mattered and their opinions mattered. So he was intentional about creating this culture. He probably planned this, he probably thought it out, and it worked. And it worked for their organization. And so this was a good example to show that leaders add value by serving others. And in fact, that's what he did. He served others. He listened to others. And the way for him to be able to do what he did and add value and create this culture in his organization was to be in the mix, involved with his people, learn them, learn his people, learn about their likes, their dislikes, their interests, what matters to them. And once he was able to get this information, he could then take that and use it, and to create a system or an environment that brought value to those employees, which in turn made them loyal to him because he was serving them.
A leader should be an adder. Instead of a subtractor, they should add to the value of their company, add to the value of their employees. They should always be an adder. So A is for attitude. In order to add value, you should always have a good attitude. I mean, it makes a difference, because I believe that, especially as a leader, the leader is the head, and the leader affects the body. It makes a difference when a leader goes into an office or into an environment and has a nice attitude, because whatever their attitude is going to fall down to the body. Okay, and the D is for devoted to treating people right. Yes, Mr. Senegal, the CEO of Costco, was adamant about treating people right. and paying them good. He paid them 42% more than most companies. I mean, about 42 cents, I think, more than most companies. And with the people that worked at Costco, he gave them good benefits. And what I liked about what they said about Mr. Senegal is uh, he would, when a person came to meet him, he would go to the lobby to meet them. I mean, how many bosses do you know, that would go and meet them in the lobby? A lot of them just say, oh, send them on back. But he was so personable, and he really served people, and also served his employees, developed a leadership team. And I think when your leaders see that you are a server, that even, um, you know, encourage them to serve even more. Because when they see that the leader, like I said, whatever the head is, it's going to go, you know, it's going to drop down to the body, or to the organization. The E is for he encourages his people. Mr. Senegal really encouraged his people. He, you know, gave them all kind of incentives, and just, treating them very good, and he gave them. He acted like he really cared about their well-being in all areas of their life. So, and Mr. Senegal said, goodness was just, kind of natural. Okay, and R is for reverence God, and to me, you always add value when you reverence God, or you put God first. The word says, "Seek first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added unto you." When you put God first, it's just a law of attraction. Things will come to you, and you look around, just like what Mr. Doris was saying yesterday. When you put God first and you're in perfect alignment with God and His purpose for your life, things have to come to you, because you already, because I'm the kind of person that believe you can pray once or twice, but after you pray, you believe, you receive, it's already done.
But anyway, he took on a mentor, Soul Price. And so he added value to himself by building a relationship and knowing enough that he needed someone just like we're doing here. Henry, we're taking on, Henry being our mentor, and coaching us through this process of becoming a great leader, is adding value not only to him and his business, but to us, seeing that we get to the place in our businesses and creating this mass corporation, or this enterprise and this legacy that we want to leave to our children, and the impact that we want to have on the world, right? We're not just here taking this 21-week course for the sake of just taking a 21-week course. We want to be able to gain something, and Henry is giving us just that.
So when we're looking at the law of addition, we're looking at, hey, how are we looking to help this person that we're looking at? And as Mr. Henry has said, how are we looking to serve this people? And so I look at our self-confidence formula, and the fifth one, I think it's really kind of where we can see this and see this come to light. And so when it comes to light, and I said I was going to read it this morning, the fifth point of the self-confidence formula, and I'm sure we all can say it together, right? Or we all know it somewhat. It says, "I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice." And so there I say, what is our motive? Are we coming to these situations and looking at building our business? Is it for our own self-gain, or is it for the building of others? The truth and justice has to be our foundation there. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. So is it going to affect these people positively or negatively? It says, "I will succeed by attracting to me the forces I wish to use and the corporation of other people. I will induce others to serve me, and this is a key word here, serve me, because I will first serve them. And so we're looking at, as we kind of get through here, we are serving, and I have that on your slide there. And I don't know if everybody's into Batman, but I'm a Batman fan, and Batman couldn't be who he was if it wasn't for Alfred, okay, the Butler. And Alfred is the one that kind of took him on when Batman's parents got killed, and Alfred was kind of there to instill in him and all that. And some scenes of Batman, Alfred is the one that actually made sure he got to the proper places and got the training that he got. And Alfred is kind of the person that is really behind him, pushing him. So if Alfred wasn't there, Batman wouldn't be who he was going to be. So Alfred is the servant to make sure that Batman can be who he needs to be. So we look at how are we serving those that we want to lift up, or that we want to be there.
To be able to be a provider of the CPE credits, I have to register with the IRS, register as an authorized, what do they call it? Authorized provider of CPE credits. So that way, not only can I offer these classes and these courses to my staff internally, I could offer this as a service to people externally who need credits for a fee. So that is something that I'm working on right now, to have that in place, as well as thinking of things. So I've read in some material lately that companies are trying or exploring different options to attract and maintain quality employees, or just employees in general, because I don't know if you've all noticed that just about everywhere is hiring, and so right now it's challenging for employers to attract employees. And so one of the things that I learned, from reading these articles, is that a lot of firms are implementing unlimited PTO. And so right now, that's one thing that I'm exploring, implementing unlimited paid time off for employees. And so I'm looking into what that would look like, how that would affect the firm, and how I would be able to implement that without creating a burden to the organization.
With the law of addition, for me, what it taught me was that the number one thing it really showed me is that I've got to number one, increase two things I've got to do. And it's hard for everybody to do because we all got a self-interest. But to help, to enroll others in my vision, I've got to first put away my self-interest. Then I've got to put my self-interest actually second to theirs, because I'm trying to get them enrolled. And then number two, what I've got to do is I've got to raise my skill level. And this is why one of the reasons that I'm in this group, and this is one of the reasons that I'm doing this call, is to raise my skill level. And the hardest thing I had for raising my skill level was these last 5 weeks, trying to combine the information that I'm learning now to the field that I'm in. I kind of treated them separately. My problem was treating it like a practical assignment. It was not treating it like a practical assignment. It was treating it just like an academic assignment. Meaning I was using stuff thinking about a theory, but now my mindset is shifted to taking this information and now applying it, making it practical, putting it in my everyday routine. Putting the concentration. I'm a leader, was born to do the work of leadership. Putting these things in my everyday routine. That way now it enhances my skill level, and now I can go out and I can sow this into people. And when I sow into people, it gets a return.